What's up everyone, and welcome back to another review video. I'm really excited about this one, so big shout out goes out to Tesway for reaching out to me and asking me to review one of their long range electric bikes. This is the X7-Pro model. I'm gonna go over everything there is to know about this e-bike. We're gonna talk about the specs, we're gonna do a speed test, we're gonna do a brake test, we're gonna do a riding test and talk about the actual bike. And of course, we're going to be doing an off-road test because we are, after all, at the world-famous VoltedAdventures testing ground. I will have chapters down below, so feel free to skip around to whatever part is of interest to you. Let's get started with the specs. So what we have here is the Tesway X7-Pro electric bike. It features a 1600 watt hub motor in the rear, coupled with a massive 52 volt 60 amp hour battery. This should give you a range of up to 200 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. It has 20 by 4 inch Kenda fat tires for a smooth ride. We have hydraulic brakes with a 180mm rotor. That is super nice. This bike also has front suspension with lockout as well as dual rear shocks. We have a 7-speed Shimano with a Shimano derailleur. We have an adjustable / foldable handlebar stem, and the frame itself can fold as well for easy transportation. This bike has a pretty comfortable seat as well as a passenger seat that's optional and passenger pegs. That is super cool. The max load for this e-bike is 350 pounds. And up on the handlebars we have our half twist throttle, our horn, Shimano gear changer, and the rear brake. In the center we have our nice color display, and on the left side we have our on-off button, mode selector, headlight control, and the front brake. Alright, and that was all the specs. Now as far as the price goes, this thing is currently on sale for $16.99, which is well worth the money if you ask me, just in the battery alone. But if you use my code VOLTED, you'll get an additional $100 off. And I will have a link of all that stuff in the description if you're interested in this bike. The biggest selling point of this bike is this huge battery. This battery is absolutely insane. By far the largest battery I've ever gotten on an e-bike that I got to review. Absolutely crazy. With every e-bike I review, I have to ride it over here to the testing ground, and I kind of, pay attention to not use up too much of the battery so I can give it a proper test. With this thing, I can go back and forth, full throttle the whole way. It didn't even budge the battery. That is insane. And just for size comparison, this is what a stock Sur-On battery looks like. This battery is 60 volts, 38 amp hour. And this is what the Tesway battery looks like. Absolutely crazy. Another cool feature about this e-bike is that extra seat in the back with the seat rest and passenger pegs. That is kind of cool. You don't have to put it on. When you purchase this bike, you can actually get it with a storage rack in the back and a storage rack in the front. I opted to not install mine and I went with the seat. I think it kind of looks cool, especially if you have a family and you want to go exploring. You got a little one over there. That is awesome. Alright, let's get started with the speed test, but before we do that, I want to show you how to turn the bike on. It does have a key that locks the battery into place. It also has an off position for the battery and an on position for the battery. You have to turn it on in order for the bike to turn on. And once you're on the bike, pretty straightforward. Hit that power button about a second and the bike will turn on. It has 5 modes. 0 just means no power. It's going to act like a regular bike. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pedal assist modes. Now the throttle and the pedals are connected. So if you're in pedal assist mode 1, the pedals and the throttle will give you the same speed, and so on and so forth for the rest of the modes. But let's start in speed mode 1. Alright, got my phone GPS. For this test, I'm going to be using throttle only. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Gonna wait for my phone's GPS to catch up. It does take a second. 13 on the bike, 12 on GPS. I told you it takes a second to catch up. Okay, that's cool. Let's flick it up to mode 2 and see what we get. Kind of annoying that the GPS takes such a long time to react, or catch up. but it is what it is. Bike is showing 17, my phone is showing 16. So not bad. Let's flick it up to mode 3 and see what we get. Geez, so much faster. Okay, bike is showing 26, my phone is showing 24. Okay, and pedal assist 4. Let's see what we get. I'm starting to think that I might run out of room here. The bike reaches the top speed fairly quick, but I just wanted to have the GPS reading, you know, as accurate as could be. It's just taking it a long time. Bike is showing 28, 29. Oh, I'm running out of room. Phone didn't have enough time to catch up. Who is this guy? How did he get permission to be at the VoltedAdventures testing ground? So the bike showed 29. Unfortunately, the GPS is just lagging, and it took it a second to catch up, but so far it's been about a mile off. So I guess we'll stick to like 29, 28, something like that. And then let's try pedal assist 5 and see what we get here. Alright, GPS, come on. I need you to be quick. 5G, right? At least that's what they say. Okay, bike is already at 31 miles an hour and stopping. GPS, are you gonna catch up before I run out of room? That doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it takes us a second. The GPS stopped at 28. Bike showed 31 peak, which is really what this bike should be at. So this bike is going too fast for my GPS to catch up. I guess that's a good thing, right? I guess we'll go with what the bike says. It shows -1, because that's what we experienced until now. So mode 5 was 31 point something. We'll just go with 30 miles an hour. Pretty impressive, because this bike is quite heavy due to that size of the battery. And not just that, the bike itself is actually really huge. It's bigger than my Sauron. But that was the speed test. Now we're gonna be doing a brake test on these hydraulic brakes with a 180mm rotor. Let's see what kind of performance we can get. There's a little bush coming up to the right. I'm gonna hit it in 3, 2, 1. Oh wow. Yeah, this is I'm talking here like 25 to 30 feet estimated. But let's run it one more time for science sake. Yeah, stopping this thing is like stopping a freight train. It's a hefty bike. Brakes are good, but it's a whole lot of mass to stop. All right, attempt number 2 on the brake test. Same thing, stopping in 3, 2, 1. Oh, actually better this time. I could see my skid line. Yeah, much better. I guess 5 feet less, because my other skid line is over the front tire where I stopped last. So I guess about a whole bike's length better stopping distance. And of course these brakes are brand new. They're gonna bed in and be a little better, but I'm glad to see better performance. Now, as far as drivability and maneuverability, this thing is super maneuverable, regardless of its size and weight. Like I said, it's a pretty big bike. It's like bigger than my Sauron, but it handles itself pretty nice. It's pretty maneuverable and agile. And I'm loving the suspension. There's not too much of adjustability on it, but it's an okay fork. And as far as turnability, this thing is pretty decent. Again, for the size, this is a huge bike. This is like a Cybertruck of e-bikes. It's crazy. It's literally the Tesla of e-bikes, especially with this battery. No more range anxiety. Say goodbye to that. You can ride and commute for miles on end with this e-bike, especially if you use it in some of the lower settings. it could literally do 200 miles easy, and that is rare to find. I've reviewed many bikes, many e-bikes, none of them even come close to this. I have a 60 volt 60 amp hour battery on my Suron, and when I turn it down to, well, in stock power, which is roughly 5,000 watts, I was able to do 64 miles, going about 15 miles an hour average speed. This thing is 1600 watts. So you do the math. The battery is 52 volts, 60 amp hour, but at the highest mode, it's only 1600 watts. So, man, this thing will go forever, and that is pretty nice. Odometer shows that I did already 8.7 miles, and the battery didn't even budge at all. You can literally go, if you got short commuting, probably a week at least without having to charge this thing. Now, the charger for this thing is also insane. It's a 6 amp charger, which is also rare to find on e-bikes. Most of them are either 1.5, 2, or 2.5 amps. So having a 6 amp charger, that's just unheard of. Really nice. And again, it's got the power, it's got the speed despite of its weight, and you're flying. If you follow my reviews, you know that on these things, anything 25 miles and higher just feels like you are flying, and this hits 30 miles an hour. I don't know what else I could say. It's amazing. And for the price and the battery that you're getting, hydraulic brakes, dual suspension in the rear, pretty nice if you ask me. Super stable too. You can pedal and accelerate. It's pretty crazy. What a crazy feeling. Alright, so that was about the bike. Now it's time for our off-road test. This thing is not really advertised for that, but we are at the VoltedAdventures testing ground, and we're going to be testing it. I bring everything over here, including scooters, so this bike is going to get that treatment as well. It does have suspension, and I want to see how that holds up. This trail is not smooth, ups and downs, got some hill climbs, which I'm pretty sure this will handle with no problem. Oh yeah, it just ate up this uphill, no issue. And these tires are Kenda tires, which is also kind of rare to see on some of these e-bikes. A lot of them come with cheaper tires, so it's nice to see higher quality stuff. And yeah, it passed the off-road section with ease. Really good. Okay, now I want to check how did the frame hold up. Is anything creaking, anything loose? Let's check that out. Okay, headset is still nice, folding mechanism is still nice, nothing is creaking. It's built like a tank. I don't know what else to say about this, guys. Literally the Tesla of e-bikes. I think this e-bike is amazing. It is a large e-bike, it's pretty big, but it's nice to have that extra seat in case you got some kids or whoever that you want to ride along. It also has its own passenger pegs, which is nice. Suspension is decent, front and rear. The battery on this thing, which is the main selling point, is absolutely insane. I like the tires, I like the hydraulic brakes, I like the rims as well. Really cool design. And this thing is built like a tank. Like I said, I'm gonna repeat myself over and over. This bike is absolutely crazy. I will have a link in the description if you're interested in checking this bike out. Also, I will have a discount code for you, code VOLTED, for $100 off. If this video was of any help to you or any value, I would highly appreciate it if you leave a thumbs up for me. If you want to see more of these reviews, and there are plenty more coming, definitely hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.